Hello again. Here we are. Seems like we were just here. Well, I've been doing a little bit more work on this instrument with multiple different sounds split across the keyboard in Alias. I've actually refined it. I've made it better, and so I want to show that to you real quick. Okay. First off, um, I'm using this very first voice here that called Alias Jam um, as just sort of I guess a container, if you will. I mean, I'm not playing any of the sounds off of this first voice. All the sounds are coming off of these sub voices here. So, again, there's a sub voice for the drums, and then there's a sub voice for the bass, and that bass is actually a sequence. I'll show you that in 1 second. And then there's that additive synth. This one. Let's go take a quick look at that bass sequence. This is really, really cool. You're going to love this. So let me remember where my keyboard is. It's over here. I'm used to it being over there. Let's see here. We're going to go this. I use the W and the E key on my keyboard to switch between voices. You'll see, watch up here in the upper right hand corner as I'm doing this. See, so I can page through these different voices that I'm using. So here's the drums. Got two step sequencers. This one is actually switching the synth engines. You'll notice I have a couple of these steps disabled here. They don't necessarily have to be disabled, but you can enable them and disable them by clicking on the little boxes here right above the sliders. So that's really, really cool. So this step sequencer is switching back and forth between the two engines, and then this step sequencer is actually triggering the note playing. And I can add additional beats here by just enabling a one of these sliders. Right? So pretty cool there. And then I used a similar technique with the bass. See, the pitch bend here is being changed by step sequencer 1. And the envelope for the volume well, it's actually, so there's a function here that's triggering these frames, and that function is being driven by this envelope. And that envelope, yeah, and you can see that the trigger is also being patched over to this step sequence here. So every time the step sequencer hits one of these notes, it sends a trigger out to the envelope. So just like that. And if we come back out, I'll go back up here to 0. Again, this is where I have my split set up. And if I go into polyphonic mode, I can now play this like this. Just like that. Isn't that awesome? Now here's the next thing that is really, really super cool. And I didn't know this until just recently. But as you know, file saving has been added to Alias so you can save out your voices. I can now save this whole setup as an instrument. We go to 1, 2, 3 on the keyboard. And you'll see I have these instruments here. And if I just click on here, I call this Alias Jam 4, select .in2 and save, and that'll save the whole setup. You don't have to load up the other sounds. You can just load up the instrument, and it'll come up and have all of your sounds in here as well as your keyboard splits. So really, really incredible stuff in the newest version, 0.16. One other little exciting piece to show you is that trigger capability is also being added on the sample page. So you now have trigger here as well. And in the next video that I make, I'm going to show you a really, really cool trick that we can do with this. So thanks for watching, and download the latest copy of Alias and have some fun.